Did you know the world is upside down? I guess I better hold on. Now and then I turn my head around, 'cause I'm waiting just for you. And I've been hopelessly shaking, I'm anticipating the news. Actions that are spoken inside out. I guess I get awakened just so I can save me from these crimes. In these serrated times, I am dragging back to blue. And I am hopelessly shaken, I'm anticipating the news. Upside down. Did you know the world is upside down? 'Cause I'm waiting just for you. And I'm hopelessly shaking, I'm anticipating the news. A girl named Billie Jean. I'm wondering if she made it down to New Orleans. Oh yeah, I'm wondering if she made it down to New Orleans. Oh yeah, I'm wondering if she made it down to New Orleans.
Alright, so I've made it to America. I've made it to Texas. I only just started recording this now because when I got here I was sick and haven't been able to do anything. Not much, I have done a lot of things. But anyway, this is the start of a crazy across America trip. Starting in Texas, going up to Canada, and then ending in LA. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'll try to record some of the interesting things along the way. I'm currently in LaGrange, Texas, made famous by a ZZ Top song, and I'm on my way to Caddo Mills, which is near Dallas. I won't make it there today, but I'll probably make it there tomorrow. But yeah, Hope you guys enjoyed this trip. This is a trip of a lifetime. This has taken me 3.5 years of planning and saving, and now it's happening. So I'll take you guys along for the ride. A little park. It's a historic park. They set these up in the 1930s. So people going down the highways had somewhere to stay. Most of this trip I'm going to be going more the back highways rather than the interstates, because there's more cool things to see and the interstates are a little bit boring and too crowded. Here we are, historic roadside park, and here it is. Here's my van, which is now clean thanks to my cousins. Cleaned it at their house, which was in Bayside in Texas. And I'm going that way. Van again. Looking absolutely beautiful. It's the Colorado River in Texas. I think this river goes the whole way to Colorado. Let's check it out. There's actually cows under there. This is someone's property. I can't go in. One thing I've noticed, you can't really go anywhere because everywhere is private land. Currently at Purtis National Park in Texas, which is absolutely beautiful. Just check out this place. Zoom in, see all like the dead trees. This place is so beautiful. Yeah, they got like a sort of boat ramp thing. And they got a weir, little jetty, picnic tables, and that's where I've parked. I'm not camping there, I just parked it there so I didn't have to walk to the lake because I'm lazy. But anyway, today I drove about 400 miles. It's probably like 600 kilometers or something. So I started in Bayside, which is Bayside, Texas. Going up back roads the whole way because I didn't want to go on the highway. For all these little towns, which you'll see some highlights on the videos. And my plan was to get to this place here, Fairfield Lake National Park, but it was shut down and turned into a golf course, so I ended up going up to Purtis, and I'm not disappointed because it's so bloody nice. I got here late. The sun sets really late in America. It's about 7 o'clock. Sun's still that high. Probably like 2 hours till it sets still, which is crazy. If that hand trick works in America, I don't know. It should. Same sun. Mate, this is insane. Wild deer. How cool is that? Okay, so this is Arkansas. Newport, Arkansas. This is where I camped last night along this river. It's a state park. It's a campsite in the van. So I drove a lot of miles last night and I got here very late. The place closes at 10 and I got here 10 minutes before. There have been no problems. I've left Texas and I'm going to miss Texas because Texas is really good. But hopefully there'll be more good things as I go further north. Even the bricks are in the shape of Texas. Texans just love their state. Memphis. I've crossed the border. This is the bridge here, and this is the Bass Pro Shops pyramid. I think it's the largest pyramid outside of Egypt, and fittingly it's in a place called Memphis because there's also a Memphis in Egypt. But yeah, I'm gonna go inside, see what it's like. It should be really cool. It's like a fishing shop, I think. I don't know. So this is Elvis's house in Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee. Graceland, I think, is a suburb. I'm just having a quick look at it. Didn't get a tour on a bus, but I don't really need a tour on a bus, and it's expensive probably. So yeah, here it is. People have tagged the wall, made it look like the Berlin Wall, all the way down. So yeah, the Elvis house in Memphis, and the van's still going. So today, or last night, I camped down here in Tennessee, down on the side of this river. So this is just northeast of Nashville. I forget the name of this park, but yeah, it was a really good campsite. It wasn't cheap, but it was really good. And there's the river down here. I don't know the name of the river. Seen two raccoons and a couple squirrels. It's a little jetty. That's really cool. And this is what American bush looks like, at least Tennessee bush. Lots of very tall, narrow trees, all of which are completely different to Australian trees. They've got high roots as well. I don't know what these trees are, but yeah, it's just pretty cool seeing the American forests. This is what it's like to live in America. Beautiful country. See that? It's a squirrel. How cool is that? It's a Corvette Museum in Kentucky, Bowling Green, Kentucky. Gonna go in and have a look. I reckon it's gonna be pretty cool. And here they got Corvette parking only. And they got a whole bunch of Corvettes, which is really cool. It's the Corvette Museum in Kentucky.
What kind of car is this? I think it's a zero. What's a zero? Corvette Zero. It's a monster on wheels. It's all over the wheels like 2 days ago. That's stolen from the LA Auto Show.
There's a pace car, an Indy 500. It's the millionth Corvette. It's a C4 Corvette convertible. So this is a track next to the Corvette Museum. That's the Corvette Museum right there. This is a track. And hopefully we'll be able to see some Corvettes on the track. So this is a classic car dealership next to the Corvette Museum, and they have some absolutely beautiful cars here. That's a Buick. I don't know what type of Buick, but it's a Buick. That's a Hudson. They were body on frame drops, so the actual frame sat up in the body, one of the first cars to do that. This is a Ford from the 50s, I'm not sure the model. Real nice car. Absolutely beautiful. There's a Cadillac, that'd be either a 59 or a 60. Okay, so I'm currently in West Virginia. I've just made it to West Virginia about an hour ago. And this is a sort of roadside picnic area. And as you can see, it's very hilly. And I wonder if you get bears in this country. Apparently I will start to see bears. Hopefully not see bears when I get into West Virginia, but I'm not sure how far in I got to go for that. But maybe there are bears here. I don't have a gun, so if there are bears, I'm pretty stuffed. Apparently the black bears will go away from you if you make yourself big, and grizzly bears will kill you no matter what. So I'm hoping to definitely not see grizzly bears. But I'm on my way to Virginia, not West Virginia. Here is the roadside parking bay. There is my van, which has made it. It's driven a lot of miles now, and it does have one slight issue. Yesterday the transmission decided to start shifting really rough, and the fluid level was good, the fluid was clean, it was not getting hot. So I don't know why it was doing that, but I started up this morning and I've been driving about 2.5 hours. It has not missed a beat. So that is great. Hopefully it was just some electrical problem that's fixed itself. I will continue to monitor it.
I wish we would live like stars do at night, where we could light up the world right through. So hard to get through, so hard to get through to me and you.
So this is West Virginia. I'm currently around here somewhere on Interstate number 79. I've passed Charleston. I'm going to Fairfax in Virginia, which is, I think it's about here. So something like that. It's about 4 hours to go. And yeah, so far I think the mountain area is around here, and I'd be really cool to go through the mountain area. I have seen mountains, but that was Tasmania. I've never seen massive mountains. Butterfly. I think a monarch butterfly. You get these in Australia. But I'll let them go. There he is. Very easy to catch. The ones in Australia are way harder to catch. So this is West Virginia, the mountains of West Virginia. I think it's the Appalachian Mountains, but don't quote me on that. It's near there anyway. Yeah, as the famous song goes, almost heaven, West Virginia. But yeah, this is an absolutely insane lookout. Like this video is not going to do it justice for how good it actually is. But yeah, everything's been going good. The van has still been going good. I'm on my way to Virginia, which will be very, not far off now. yeah, mountains of West Virginia, absolutely insane. 10 out of 10 lookout this is, $1 million view. So this is Great Falls Park in Virginia, and this is the river here. That part there is Maryland on the other side, and there was a canal built alongside this river by George Washington, who was the first American president to let boats go through. So have a look just how cool this place is. This is the canal that George Washington built in Virginia, the remains of it, and boats would have used to go down here. So this is the Washington Monument in DC, and on the other side we have this Congress, right?
Yeah, the Capitol building.
The Capitol building, which is like the Parliament of America, which is really cool. This is in DC. So this is DC. This is the Washington Monument. This one right here is, I forget the guy's name, third president of the USA. And yeah, we just passed that is for Martin Luther King, the Black Rights Martin Luther King, not the Gutenberg Bible Press Martin Luther King. No, that was just Martin Luther, sorry. Yeah, this is DC, which is pretty cool. That's the printing press. And yeah, about to go inside. A lot of these buildings are built with lots of like Roman or Greek or Egyptian architecture, all of them sort of combined, which is pretty cool. So New York City today, catching the bus. That's my bus there. I'm not driving because driving through New York City will be absolute terrible. There's a lot of traffic. So got a hound dog sitting on the side of the road. Gonna jump on it. See what happens. It'll be a great day, New York City. So this is Times Square in New York City, which is in New York State, which is pretty cool. Look at that. Hard Rock Cafe. It's the Chrysler Building. It's really cool. This is a part of New York City. I don't know what this building is. I don't know, it looks like a court or something. We're gonna find out. There's a bridge up there. I'll walk down a bit further and see. It's another view of the Chrysler Building. Eagles on it. It's pretty cool. That's the city. In New York City, they have all of these yellow taxis. Yeah. So this is what New York City looks like. It's pretty cool. It's a news building. So this is the Brooklyn Bridge in New York, in New York City. Connects the island to the mainland, I guess. It's one of the very first suspension bridges built. At least one of the very first big ones. Next to it, we got the Manhattan Bridge. Yet another suspension bridge. That one's built out of steel. Really cool box. There's a train going on there. So here we got the Empire State Building in New York City. At one point in time, this was the tallest building in the world. It was built in the 1920s or something like that. And yeah, the slogan on the New York number plates is the Empire State, and that's the Empire State Building. It's pretty cool. The Empire State Building looks like. I mean, personally, I think it's pretty cool, but the Chrysler Building looks cooler at the top of it. But this one's taller. So, we got a coffee shop at the bottom. That's the way down the street.
To choose this time, but it doesn't seem quite right, though it feels a little tried. I was hoping for respite. Now and then I guess I've run through every punch drunk feeling strong. I wasn't brought up by some scene I never really knew to see.
This is Maryland, which is the other side of Virginia, just crossed a river. Virginia's just over that river. So, yeah, in Australia I always pull up at these state border signs. It's a lot harder in America, so this is the first one I've actually been able to stop at. But Maryland, I assume, would be named after the Virgin Mary, as with Virginia. These are assumptions. The van has been running okay, the transmission is not perfect. Onwards to Philadelphia tonight, maybe even New York State, we will see. But yeah, Maryland so far, well, this part of it looks nice. Beautiful mountains, beautiful country. It's going to be great. Let's see what happens. So this is the bush in Maryland, which is north of Virginia and south of Pennsylvania. And I don't know if there's bears in here. There might be bears in here. I thought I'll take a break and do a bit of exploring in the Maryland bush. Now the further north I get, the more sort of dense, you would say, the bush gets. It's a lot different to Texas. Texas is more like Australia. Now I don't know if there's any snakes around here either. It's not a proper path. I'm just exploring. I don't know what I'm going to find, but it's just really cool. This ain't in the mountains. All the trees are different, and it's almost autumn. So the trees around this area will start losing their leaves in autumn, which is the opposite autumn that Australia gets. And if I walk down this way, there's also meant to be lots of ticks in the bush, so you're not meant to walk through where there's too many long grass and stuff. So I'm trying to stay more in the open ground. And also I don't want to run across any bears. So yeah, I reckon this is really cool. Just exploring a different country's bush. There's not that... A lot of places you can't actually walk through the bush. It's always fenced off. There's a hole for something. I don't know. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's almost like a cartoon or a movie to see this type of nature. I'm just aware of bears. Now check out this. This is really cool. There's a tree stump of a collapsed tree that's covered in some sort of mushroom. Now in Australia, the mushrooms generally grow on the south side, because that's the side that gets the least amount of sun. But in America, and all of the northern hemisphere, stuff like this would be most likely to grow on the north side, because that gets the most amount of sun. But yeah, that's a pretty cool tree stump. And the rest of the trees down there. That would have been a really big tree at one point. So this is the Maryland Mountains Visitor Center, but today it's shut. But that doesn't matter, because out the front they got some signs explaining the history of Maryland. And it turns out that Maryland was sort of like where a lot of the Civil War battles were fought. And up until coming on this trip, I knew very little about the Civil War. But it's cool just to find out the history behind that. And apparently a lot of the Civil War was actually about slavery, which I didn't know. I always assumed it was just about land, like most wars are. And they had the Union versus the Confederate, and the Union was more the north, and the Confederate was the south. And this is after Texas had joined America, and Texas was like the south Confederate side. So yeah, it's pretty cool just to see the history behind this place. Here we got, this is Pennsylvania, and this is the view, which is absolutely beautiful. It's a real $1 million view right here. It's up through the mountain country. So then, and have a look on this side. If one side's not good enough, can't really see because of the bush here. Look at that. Absolutely insane. What a view. You can't pay for stuff like this. You can pay to come to America, which will send you almost broke, but it's worth it. Something like this. How good is that? So I'm going to camp in this state tonight, probably a bit further north when I come across a campground. Alright, this is absolute paradise. Have a look at this for a view. Could you get a better view than this? It's debatable. It's just so good. It's too good. This is currently in Pennsylvania. Lake there. Thought they were deer, but they're not. Now zoom in on the camera. But yeah, have a look at that. Sunset, Clearwater Lake, Beautiful forest. This is like an ideal view. It's so good. If you guys ever get a chance to come to Pennsylvania, this is the best view I've seen on the whole trip. No question. This is the best view I've seen. This is so good. It's beautiful. It's someone's property, so I'm not going to drive down there. Thought I'd record what it looks like at night. This is the setup for the van. So all the windows are covered with towels, including to get to the front. So this is Willow Bay. That's absolutely beautiful. This is where I camped last night. It'd look even better if it wasn't so wet and raining. So this is New York, the Empire State. Probably named after the Empire State Building, or vice versa. I don't know which way it was. But this is going to be the last state I'm going through until I get to Canada, which will be today, hopefully. I think it's the New York coat of arms. Maybe. The van has been going good. And the country around here. Oh, here we got the Welcome to Pennsylvania sign. I couldn't stop for that on the other side, but I can on this side. A lot of these highway signs are hard to stop at because they're on highways. But yeah, it's really cool. So I'm going to get a picture of that Pennsylvania side. But Canada today, the country around here is absolutely insane. It's so good. I reckon Pennsylvania has to be so far the best looking country in all of America, of all the states I've gone to. Texas is still my favourite state, but... Alright, I've made it to Canada, which is great. They let me in. And the weather has cleared up. The whole drive up until just about an hour ago was crazy with rain. There's Starbucks, which is a coffee shop. Then they got this rest centre, which has all of these. It was pretty nice. I went in there, but I can't use any money because my card ain't working at Canadian ATMs. So I can buy any food. Luckily I got tin food. But yeah, Canada, they let me across the border bridge. It was very easy to get across, a lot less dramas than going into America. I didn't get detained and questioned. So yeah, that was really good. Main's still flowing out. Let's give it a treat. So this is Niagara Falls, on the border of Canada and America, specifically Ontario and New York. And I think it's the biggest waterfall in the world. The tallest is Victoria Falls, which is somewhere in Africa. But this one's the biggest, I'm pretty sure. It's not just one, there's a whole bunch of them. There's no one there, and I think there's one or two more down the river. But I've only been here so far. Yeah, just have a look at that. It's absolutely beautiful. I got a balloon. It's on the line. And that boat right there at one point before I started recording this was right at the bottom of that other waterfall, not this one but the other one. So this side's America, I think. Obviously the side I'm on is Canada. edge. So this is where you can catch a boat or a flying fox down the Niagara. This trip is terribly over budget, so I can't afford to at the moment. But it's a really cool thing for people who can. The boat goes down to the bottom and just goes around, and there's the flying fox or zip line. So this is the bridge to get from Toronto to New York. And you can see at the back there's the American checkpoint. Yeah, in this location, the longest at the time suspension bridge once stood, and then they replaced it with another bridge, and the remnants of this bridge are here, which looks to have been turned into a lookout, but it collapsed into the river in 1938 on January the 27th, one day after Australia Day. And that's the current bridge. Hard Rock Cafe, which I think is famous. And casino, which is pretty cool. And then the Brock Hotel, I don't know anything about it. But yeah, and another big fancy looking hotel. Probably all built because of the casino. Okay, currently at a truck stop in Canada, in Ontario. Here's a bit of Canadian culture for you guys. This is Tim Hortons, and apparently I have been told that it is the best coffee you can get. And it's Canadian. I've already drunk it. It's even got like a maple leaf on the top and everything. And yeah, it's meant to be like their most famous drink, I guess. I drank it and it tasted good. I'm not a big coffee drinker. I drink it, but I'm not big into it. But yeah, it was better than Starbucks. Starbucks was still good too. I even have one actually. There, comparison. Fancy. I know nothing about coffee other than it tastes good. Another cool thing about Canada, they have different octanes. They have cheaper octanes. So in Australia, the lowest octane is 91, and in Canada the highest octane is 91. So these are pretty cool. These, I think, are bear-proof bins. So usually you can't actually open it. What you got to do is you got to stick your hand inside, push a lever, and that opens it to reveal the bin. So then the bears can't eat the food in the bin. It's a pretty good idea, really. So this is Algonquin National Province Park. Sorry, Canada has provinces rather than states like Australia and America. But this is the Lookout Trail, and this is absolutely insane. It's just off the charts how good it is. I don't think the camera will do it justice to how amazing this is. This is not like Australia at all. It's just beautiful. Right, here we got a little bit of a ditch. Up in the trees. I don't know what type of trees these are. Some of these trees would probably be maple trees, but not these ones I'm walking through right now. Here's a big rock outcrop, and it continues down this way. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm walking to Lookout at the moment. It's just really nice. And everything's covered in moss, even though it's the summertime, which is crazy. You would not see that in Australia, but that's Canada for you. This is sort of like what you imagine in a movie, what the forest looks like. It's like paradise. set filled with bears, but there's only black bears here, not grizzly bears. So this is a reenactment. I've already walked up this hill, but you walk up this hill and this is what you see. Have a look at that. I mean, it's bloody phenomenal. Just check out that. Definitely been a top 5 best lookouts I've ever seen, possibly even in the top 3. If you look down here, you don't want to fall down. That's basically a cliff. I mean, I'm standing taller than those. I think they're pine trees. They're moose, right?
Yeah. And a baby. But I don't know the proper names, like the proper term, but yeah.
That's so cool. There we go. Dinner cooking on the stove. Couple salami sticks. Van parked up. Gonna get a fire going soon. Just looking at almost sunset. Absolutely beautiful. It's gonna be a great night tonight. Day 2 of Algonquin State Park. I'm going to camp here another night because it's just so damn good. Had brekkie, which was just veg, and Kit Kats. Kit Kats are Canadian, you know. I only just found that out. But yeah, going to stay here another day and see what else there is to explore in this beautiful land. So this is the white pine. Well, it's fallen down. This is one of the rare trees these days which were once common, which got logged a lot in the 1800s, late 1800s. They got these nice books they give you, which gives you lots of detail. That tree is literally, this tree here had a big bow in it, which meant it was worthless to loggers back in the day. But yeah, it fell over, I don't know when, probably not that long ago, after they wrote the book. And that's it there. Hopefully see that massive thing falling down. It's a bit sad really that it fell down. It's probably very old. Hopefully we'll find some more that haven't fallen down. So here is a really big one. This one's alive. Apparently it's 37 metres tall. Apparently it's about 230 years old. Check out this. This is one of these big pine trees. I think it's one of these big white pines growing right into the rock. Can't really see because of maple trees. I think it's dead. Yeah, it's dead. But still, that is insane, that a tree that big going right into the rocks. It would never happen in Australia because it would get cooked from the heat of the rocks. But this is Canada, where crazy things like this can happen. This is really cool. Someone who knows a lot more about trees than me has actually marked this. You can see the rings in it, and they've gone to the effort to count. So 50, 100, 150, 176 years old this tree was. This the remains of the old camp. This is the old foundations. There's like nothing left you can see. But this is the old mill. which milled the old pines, similar to like the history of Western Australia, with towns like Jarrahdale, Canning Mills, Bardens Mill, where they milled ore to Jarrah. Here it was pine, and the remains are still here to be seen to this day. So this is the Ox Tongue River, still in Canada, in Ontario. Very beautiful. It's like a mirror. See? Insane scenery. Check out this. Here's a frog. Look at that. How cool is that? I'm not going to touch him because he might be poisonous. But that's so cool. Might be a toad. I don't know. It's either a frog or a toad. If I know he's not poisonous, I'd grab him and pick him up, but I don't know if he's poisonous or not. So this is the Whiskey Rapids. And the reason this is called the Whiskey Rapids is because in the 1800s they were taking a canoe down here with a keg of whiskey, and they crashed it and they lost the keg of whiskey, which is an absolute tragedy. But that's how it got its name. Look at this, here's a squirrel and he's eating a nut. It's like really cool to see. Have a look at this. It's a tiny frog. He jumps. Really cool. I wonder if it's the same type as the other one I saw. I don't know. Leave him be and let him enjoy living the dream. Okay, round 2. Check out that for a view. Absolutely beautiful. Ranch style beans. That's different to the Australian beans you get, which is the English style. So let's give it a taste. So the fuel pump decided to stop working. Second time. And this time it wouldn't start again by jiggling the wires, because it wasn't actually the fuel pump that was the problem, it was the wiring for the fuel pump. So what's been done, wired up this wire here, which runs the whole way, that runs under there, through there, under the plastic and under the car. Oh, I'm not going to, I'll try. That goes to some terribly dodgy wiring up here, which is put together with duct tape, and one is an earth. Well, so basically the fuel pump is just wired on accessory, and that fixed it. And it got it moving again. There's a dodgy roadside fix that actually works. So this is what they used to do to timber back in the day. They cut down these big pines, and to get them to fit more efficiently on the ships, they'd square them off all by hand with an axe. This is 1800s, so they were square, which is stupid because it wasted so much effort doing it all by hand and so much wood just to get it to fit better, you'd think. But hey, that's what they did. There's an even more square one. They'd ship these to England back in the day. Check out that for a chainsaw. Here's an old International truck that was once used for the logging industry in Algonquin. These were used to move sleds of rocks, and notice the chains on the rear tyres. That's to give it extra traction in snow. The big thing at the top of the exhaust pipe, or whatever you call it, is to catch the embers coming out so it doesn't start a bushfire. Yeah, it's a train. I don't know too much about steam trains. It's pretty cool. Piece of history. Go inside, because why not? So in here, this is where the burner is. You put all your wood or your coal or whatever they burn in here, and that heats up the water, which in turn powers the steam engine. That's the bell. See there? That's pretty cool. So this is Ottawa. This is a big old steam train. I don't know what year it'd be from. Long time back anyway. Late 1800s, early 1900s maybe. But this is at the Space and Science and Technology Museum, which today is closed for unknown reasons. So the good thing is you can still check out the train from the outside. They've also got a lighthouse. We're not near the water, so it's interesting they relocated a lighthouse to there. I don't actually know what animal this is. So someone has built their house in the shape of Noah's Ark. They've even got animals to go with it. So that's pretty cool. I think it's actually a campground. I don't know. I just seen it on the side of the road. It's camp for tonight. Absolute paradise. Driftwood Campground Provincial Park in Ontario, Canada, with $1 million view. Up there's where I'm camping. Just next to this, $1 million view without question. So here we got Lake Driftwood from a nice lookout. This area has bears, and what I've been told by the ranger is the way to remember what to do when you see different bears. If it's black, fight back for black bears. If it's brown, lay down for grizzly bears. And if it's white, good night for polar bears, because if you see a polar bear, you're dead. And you're probably dead if you see a grizzly bear too, but a polar bear's even worse. So there's some cool tips on how to avoid bears. So this was one of the free campsites listed on the free camping app. And it's the ruins of some sort of building, but it's all derelict. So I ain't going to be camping here tonight, I'll tell you that. But I do have to check it out, because this looks cool. Sort of weird. Not only worried about who knows what inside, but also bears. Because this is bear country, and I don't know if bears go in houses. This is actually creepy. Of course I'm going to do it. Anyone in here? Hell. This is pretty cool. I don't know what this building used to be. It's dilapidated. What is this machine? Might give some idea to what this building was. Upstairs as well. It's cool to explore derelict houses. Probably not meant to, but... So here's a classic trick. All you got to do to heat your food up, you just got to put it in your engine, preferably next to something hot like the exhaust manifold. You crack it so it doesn't build up pressure and explode, and you leave it there for a little bit, take it for a drive, and she'll be all good to eat when I pull up. Currently in Iroquois, Ontario, Canada. I'm got so far north that, remember this is September, and it's past 8 o'clock. It's still light. That's how far north I am. I'm not in the Arctic Circle, I'm a long way off that. Yeah, this is my campground for tonight, a random car park, because there wasn't any campgrounds in town. So, yeah. Hope I sleep good. I don't know if I'm allowed to camp here, but I don't know where else to go. Okay, so it's Halloween season in America and Canada, where I currently am, and that's not a big deal in Australia. But in America and Canada, it's a real big deal. Apparently it's almost like Christmas. So they were selling a lot of Halloween stuff, and one of the things they were selling was pumpkin bread. I'd never had pumpkin bread before, so I thought I'd buy it and see what it tastes like. And pumpkin's like a big thing to do with Halloween. So this is made of pumpkin seeds. It tastes good. Wild bear, black bear right there. I got told if you want to see bears, go to the tip, and the guy who told me that was not lying. Wild black bear. Two wild black bears. How cool is that? I'm not getting out of the car. But that is amazing. I'm just going to stay here at this distance. That is amazing. Breakfast today, beans. Currently down by the river, you can't really see it too well. There's just trees in the way. In a picnic spot. And further south today, because all the parks up north are all closing down, which I didn't realise. And they're all seasonal, so oh shit, beans are boiling. Alrighto guys, might have come across a minor serious problem. Rear main seal seems to have blown out completely. That's how much oil it's taken for it to get 250 kilometres. Not ideal. And I have to buy the little ones at the petrol stations because they don't sell the big ones. I thought 5 litres would easily be enough for 25 kilometres, but no, 250 kilometres. So this might be a major problem for the van. I'm just going to try to get it back to my cousins in Toronto, and then I might be pulling a transmission out to change the rear main seal, which I think in this vehicle involves dropping the entire K-frame. I don't even know if I've got the tools and the ability to do that in another country. Oh well, see if we can get it back another 50 kilometres without it blowing up. Well, it won't blow up, it's got an oil pressure warning, so I'll stop if the oil pressure warning comes on, but still, it's not ideal. So this is the culprit, this is the replacement for the culprit of why my van is leaking oil. So I've gone to a shop called Canadian Tire, which is sort of like a general auto parts plus hardware sort of shop, like if you mixed a Repco with a Bunnings sort of thing. And I bought this tool, this oil pressure sensor, to fix my problem, and that means the van is going to get back on the road, and I'm very happy it's just this and not something more serious. I also had to buy a socket to change it that I'll probably use once, but still, it's a cool thing to have. Anyway, that is Canadian Tire. Let's get my van back on the road, currently borrowing my cousin's Mazda. So the good news, she runs again and she lives, so hopefully she'll make it the whole way to California. The culprit, as I said before, was the oil pressure sensor. So this is the old one. I've put a new one in and it seems to be working. It's not leaking, and this is the leaking one. So it's got some new oil in, because why not change the oil while I do it? The old oil was half gone anyway. But yeah, let's see how she goes. And now that that problem's fixed, and I got worried it was a rear main seal for a while, because it was coming like right underneath where the rear main is, but luckily that sensor was right nearby there, so gave the illusion, because it was dripping where the transmission meets the engine. Righto guys, this is Ontario, Canada, near Toronto. Little lake beside the highway. Check out the size of these fish. I should have brung my rod down. They're probably half a metre long. I should have brought my rod. Fall season has started. It's called fall because the leaves fall off the trees. So one more night in Canada and then it will be going to Michigan. To the Lake Pinery Provincial Park in Canada. My last morning in Canada. Going to cross the border to Michigan in probably 2 hours. Hope they let me in. They'll let me in. So, campsite for tonight. Just out of Detroit, Michigan. Absolutely beautiful, and it looks like I got the place all to myself. $31 a night, American. Be about $50 a night Australian. This is one of the cheap ones. Even though to you Australians watching, that's very expensive. The van's been making good progress. I got over the border today, no worries. Didn't get detained. They're all cool, which is great. There's a river up here. It's like a swamp. That's still pretty cool. I decided not to camp right next to it because of mosquitoes, because I can always walk up there. But yeah, this is the campground in Detroit. Now Detroit is where a lot of the automotive manufacturing was, and also home to the Henry Ford Museum, which is where I'm going tomorrow. Here we got some steak and veg cooking up pretty nice. And yeah, that's the site for tonight. So that's the end of the Canada stint to this trip, and the next 4.5 weeks or so we'll be back in America on my way to California. So this is the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit, Michigan. This car right here is the Model T, which is the car that basically made Ford get his name and become one of the most popular car brands. Yeah, they used to say you could only get a Model T in black, which was true in America, but in Australia you could get them in any colour. They build them in Australia too. But this is the original one, and that's some of their earlier Ford models they made. And they got some other cars up the top. Ford Cougar, a big Chrysler. Oh, look at some of these. That's the first V8. Got a Dodge Ram and a Honda Accord and a Prius. Okay, make your own Model T Ford, injection molded plastic. Doesn't work. Got some Canadian geese just chilling out right here. Currently in Detroit. Ford Museum. Ford Museum was great. It was expensive, but it was definitely worth it. But I made it to Indiana. What Indiana looks like. Northern Indiana. This is Highway Interstate 69. Nice. Just north of Fort Wayne. says Indiana there. But yeah, this is the place. This is the what they'd call a rest stop welcome area. So far it is the nicest rest stop I've come across in any state in America. It's still not as nice as the en routes in Canada, but still it's pretty good. They got this nice little picnic area. You're not allowed to camp here, unfortunately. That's if you get caught. Cooking up some lunch, which is also breakfast. Some chili soup. And I'm not sure, I might get to Indianapolis today, or maybe not. Find somewhere to camp and find out. And yeah, Indiana. That's what the trees look like. Scenery hasn't really changed much since Canada, except Indiana's filled with corn, which is cool. Go for a bit of a look. It's like what the nature looks like in Indiana. I think they're maple trees. I'm still learning all the American and Canadian trees. I'm not holding the camera very steady. I have barely slept for 3 days and have drunk too much coffee. I'm not even meant to drink coffee. So tonight, this is not where I'm camping, but about 100 meters from where I'm camping in Indiana, northwestern Indiana, just south of Fort Wayne. And the great part about this amazing campsite is it cost me $12, the cheapest one yet, and yet it looks to be such a good one. Bridge over there, can't see because it's focusing on the leaves. If I had my other camera I could change the focus manually, but this is an automatic one. There's the bridge. No, you can't see it. I also got bit by a dog. But yeah, gonna cook some dinner up. Should be good for tonight, and then I might stay here 2 nights. If not, Indianapolis tomorrow. So this is Indiana. I'm just south of Fort Wayne. The day is a bloody beautiful day. Couldn't ask for better weather. The whole day's been like this. I was told Indiana was going to be boring. It is not boring. The scenery is insane. Got a dam right here. I'm camping just up that way, or might be about that way. Camping second night here because it's so good. It's cheap as well. It's $12 a night, which is pretty damn good. Everything's been good. The van has been going good. I might even get a rod wet and go for a bit of a fish. Apparently there's bass in this river. I've never caught a bass, so might see if I can change that. And yeah, just enjoying this insane scenery and this perfect weather in Indiana. This is Indiana right here, just south of Fort Worth. Not Fort Worth, Fort Wayne. Fort Worth is Texas. Beautiful day. There's a boat ramp there. Got a dam up here. It's pretty cool. Indiana I wasn't expecting much because I was told it was very boring. But gee, I'm glad that was proven wrong. This is some beautiful scenery right here. So this is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, home of the Indy 500. And we're currently in the middle of the speedway, which is so cool. Here it is right here. So we're in the infield. There's some of the grandstands. There's even got a replica pace car. Maybe it's a real pace car, I don't know. But that's the museum in there. So I'm going to go in and have a look. Currently in Illinois, southern Illinois. I've just got off Interstate 70 from Indiana, and Indiana was really nice. I really enjoyed my stay in Indiana. But it's time to keep moving. So Illinois, it's late in the day and I'm not sure if I'm going to just keep on the road tonight or if I'll find somewhere to pull up and park. It's hard to find places to camp in America. You can't just pull over, you've got to actually find somewhere, and yeah, that's one thing Australia does a lot better is camping. So yeah, on my way to Cali. So I look like I've been on the road for 2 months now. Probably. I'm real getting worn out from this trip. I love it, don't get me wrong, but this is the old railway turntable at Catty Roadhouse, or Roundhouse. I keep saying Roadhouse, but this is why it's called the Roundhouse. So they used to, back in the day, spin the trains around to different tracks using this turntable. There's a view of the campsite tonight. Still here. There's a little camp set up there.
Don't know why you had to choose this time, but it doesn't seem quite right. Though it feels a little tried, I was hoping for respite. Now and then I guess I've thrown through every punch drunk feeling stroke. I wasn't brought up by some team I never really knew to see. That don't matter in my head. You're never gone until you're dead. Cheers, mate!
Cheers, guys. So we're currently at River Run in Texas, and this is my mate Cody. I've snapped off one of the axles on the Honda. Have a look at that. So what he's going to do, and there's the chocolate milk oil mixed with water, and what he's going to do, he's going to cut it something like that so you can run it as a 3-wheel drive and get it back out in the mud. These are the sort of vehicles you get. So that's a side-by-side, 4-wheelers. This sort of stuff. Honda.
That sounds like a good time. A lot of money, a lot of lifetime, a lot of everything.
And you get big ones like this too.
See, that's where you at right there, fanny pack. That's smart shit. That way you keep everything smart shit.
This one's had some problems with it because the water gets into the ECU and stops it running. But yeah, this Honda's been really good. This Honda's been good, but it got flooded last night. But yeah, this is sort of like what they do in America. It's some good fun.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah. There you got bush mechanics in action. At the races at the River Run. There you go, guys. It's about to start soon. Should be pretty good. See what happens.
Shake hands if I'm anticipating. to choose this time, but it doesn't seem quite right. Though it feels a little tried, I was hoping for respite. Now and then I guess I've thrown through every punch drunk feeling stoned. I wasn't brought up by some scene I never really knew the scene. But that don't matter in my head. You're never gone until you're dead. And like a Lazarus and stone, I can tell you bleed alone. Don't know why you had to choose this time, but it doesn't seem quite right. Though it feels.
Was he towing it with the four-wheeler, that little one?
Yeah, he pulled it up with on that goddamn little 350. Yeah.
That's insane. That's pretty cool.
It is cool as shit.
That's a decent effort to get it through this little one, eh? The corner streamliner. So this is going to be the end of my trip. Flying back now to Melbourne, and then from Melbourne to Perth. Unfortunately, this plane's been delayed about 4 hours, which means I'm going to miss my other plane. So luckily they put me on another plane. But to get on that plane I've got to wait another 5 hours. So my 24-hour flight is now about a 34-hour flight. But that's all good because at least I'm getting back. There's some Coca-Cola around the world. So it's like a mini museum in the airport. Here we got some little old Coca-Cola memorabilia.
And Joe Williams. Eddie and Joe Williams, party of two. Please see a Qantas representative for an important message, please. Thank you.
It's really cool. That was probably back in the days, 1896. There was probably still cocaine in Coca-Cola back in those days. It's pretty cool. From an Aussie perspective, what's it like? I really liked America. I thought they had some real common sense laws, particularly in the case of like driving. Like they had much better road rules and much better policing of the roads, at least in the states I was in. I felt safer in Texas than I have done in a lot of parts of Australia. I didn't expect that. I've seen on TV and stuff, America's dangerous. America was a lot less dangerous than I thought it was going to be. Camping is a lot more expensive in America than in Australia. It's harder to camp. There's less campgrounds. There's less public facilities, and all the land is privately owned, other than just a little bit of it. The scenery is insane. Do I recommend visiting America? Hell yeah, I do. Canada was really cool too. Canada was sort of like a side quest for me. I'm like, I want to go to America. I may as well go to Canada. I'm right there. And Canada was better than I was expecting. America was better than I was expecting too. I was expecting these to both be good, and they were better than I expected. What's my next trip going to be? I don't know. It's probably not going to be overseas, let's be real. It's probably going to be Australia. It's probably going to be biodiesel. I hope you've enjoyed this movie of my trip to America. I've really enjoyed my trip. I love America. I love Canada. But of course I love Australia. Cheers for watching.
Did you know the world is upside down? I guess I better hold on. Now and then I turn my head around, 'cause I'm waiting just for you. And I've been hopelessly shaking, I'm anticipating the news. The actions that are spoken inside out, I guess I gotta wake up.
How you going, Smokey? Do you want to be famous? Do you want to be on camera? How you going, beautiful? I went to... Oh, fuck. Got a swan. And there we got a wild turkey. I think something's telling me I need to get a drink. American toilet flush. Let's see which way it goes. Anti-clockwise. So this is how American showers work. They're different to Australian showers. Instead of having two winding taps, they've just got this one knob. And to unwind it, you unwind this to get the water to come out. And you move this either to left or to right to hot or cool it. And everything will start coming out of this bottom tap, which is useless if you want to shower. So what you got to do, you got to pull this knob out, and then it will redirect the flow to come out of there. The lights are backwards too, so up is on and off is down, which is the opposite of Australia. That's what the power outlets look like. Which is, I'll show you the Aussie one. My adapter, it's an Aussie one. American one. It's very similar, so it's still got a negative, positive and earth. They just do it in a different way.